So in this example, we check the security of some people. So we're given a list of people, a bunch of names, and then we pass that to a security check. Inside that security check, we have a found variable. Found variable starts as an empty string. So this variable acts as our flag in this situation. And then for every person that's in our people list, we check to see if any are found. If one is found, we assign it to that variable. So Don or John, for example, and then we do something later with that variable string that we found. So when we do this, there's something that we like to do. I mean, we want to get rid of that found flag, but the first thing we can do is create single functions that do one thing. So one thing we want to do is find the culprit. And then once we have that culprit, we want to apply some later function to it. So we know that that's the base logic, and then we can actually extract out the finding of the culprit, and we pass in the people list. Once we pass in the people list, we can start cleaning this up. So we already are using the sum later function, so we don't need that. All we need to do is return the found person. Now you'll notice that found is an empty string, and then when we find them, we're just reassigning it, and then we're going through the person, each person in the person list again, but we don't really need to do that. We could just return right away. So if we find Don, we can return Don. If we find John, we can return John. And then you'll notice that the only time found doesn't get filled out anymore. So we can really just return an empty string if we get to the end. And since we're not going to be looping through the people list, once we find somebody, we don't even really need this variable anymore. So we can get rid of that. And then that leaves the whole found flag variable on its own. We don't need that either. And that's it. So we have a people list, we check the security, find the culprit. Once we find the culprit, we apply some later function, and that whole culprit logic is extracted.